2024 is coming to an end, and there are a ton of new tools that hit the market this year. To wrap it all up, we wanted to put all of our favorite new Milwaukee tools from 2024 into one video. This is going to be a look back, but we've got a bunch of great content planned for 2025, including power tool reviews, 1v1s, buying guides, and more. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing. Now let's look back on the best new Milwaukee tools of 2024. From new expansions to Milwaukee's state-of-the-art Forge battery system, to new power tools on the M18 and M12 platforms, plus tons from Packout. We've got the rundown on all the best new tools that you need to know about from Milwaukee Pipeline. And before we get started, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more content on new tools and power tool reviews. Now, let's dive into the products. Many of the new power tool innovations you'll see in this video were made possible by the launch of new higher capacity Forge batteries. M18 Forge entered the market last year with a lone XC 6.0 battery, but now Milwaukee's added an XC 8.0 and a crazy power dense HD 12.0 pack to the Forge lineup. Since its debut, the aim for Forge batteries has been to bring users more power in a more compact and power-rich package, and these batteries deliver on that promise. Looking at the XC 8.0 Forge battery, Milwaukee tells us that it provides the same power as the 12 amp hour standard high output pack, but with a 20% reduction in size and a 30% reduction in weight. When compared to that same standard 12-0 pack, the 12 amp hour Forge battery claims to deliver 50% more power than its predecessor. When paired with the M18 supercharger, both of these battery packs will charge up to 80% capacity in just 35 minutes, a feat that's possible thanks to the impressive cooling technology built into these batteries and the charging technology that Milwaukee calls Cool Cycle. Between the additional power and minimal downtime that these batteries are set to offer, they'll make an ideal match for some of the higher powered tools and the equipment that you're about to see in the rest of this video. So let's start with tools. We heard rumblings about this release last year and even got a secret hands-on after the 2023 event. But now we can fully tell you about the new generation of Milwaukee circular saws. They built these saws from the ground up with new internal electronics and brushless motor technology designed to pull the absolute most power out of the Forge battery packs. The new 7¼ inch Sidewinder delivers 6,000 RPM, and Milwaukee tells us that you can expect 750 cuts per charge when paired with a 12-0 Forge pack. Using the saw briefly in demos, it was super light, only 7.8 pounds, but it delivered top-of-the-line power. You can expect a 2 5/8 inch depth of cut, and the guard and the shoe are both made out of magnesium. The saw also has an electric blade brake, LED work light, rafter hook, and all the fixings that we expect from an 18-volt Sidewinder from Milwaukee. For our demo cuts, we were using Milwaukee's new thick kerf blades, which are a unique innovation in a market that seems to be increasingly focused on thin kerf blades. The thick kerf is designed to net you the straightest cuts through a variety of materials, providing strong performance and stability that you're not going to get from any thin kerf blades. Both the Sidewinder saw and the thick kerf blades are available this month. We got our hands on another saw that's a bit further down the line, and that's the new 7¼ inch rear handle. This worm drive style saw boosts the RPMs to 6,300 and should deliver around 700 cuts per charge when paired with a 12 amp hour Forge battery. The saw contains positive detents for both bevel and depth. The rotational dust port makes it easy to add a vac or dust extractor and keep it out of your way while you're cutting. And a multi-size rafter hook gives you the option to store the saw in different materials. If you're making many long straight cuts throughout the day or your job calls for additional torque, you're going to be reaching for this rear handle over the Sidewinder. Unfortunately, you'll have to wait till early 2025 to get your hands on this saw. But you know what they say, good things come to those who wait. The next tool we got our hands on has been requested for going on a decade now, the M18 Fuel Coil Roofing Nailer. Roofers are going to love this one. It's designed for small roofing jobs and even roof repair jobs. It also has the added versatility of having the power, flexibility, and accessories to handle vinyl siding installation. We got to use it, and it's quick. It fires up to 6 nails per second, which works out to give you the power to sink up to 1,100 nails per charge with a CP 3.0 high output pack. And you want to use those smaller packs because you want this tool to be as light as possible. The tool-free depth of drive adjustment makes changes quick and easy, and the vinyl siding tip is an attachment, so this tool adapts as you need it to from job to job. The speed is what really hammers it home for us though. It's not just something you're used to seeing or feeling from a cordless tool like this. I've got no doubt that once you guys get your hands on it, you're going to see what I mean. Milwaukee has this tool scheduled to launch in October. The first M12 fuel product on our list from this year's pipeline is the new iteration of the widely beloved Stubby impact wrench. Much like the Forge batteries, the Stubby serves one purpose: give mechanics the absolute most power in as compact a package as they can get it. Again, Milwaukee seems to have delivered, because this mini impact delivers 550 foot-pounds of max torque. That's a number we scoffed at when we first heard it, considering not too long ago we were getting those numbers from high-torque impact wrenches. The Gen 2 Stubby only weighs 2.2 pounds, and since this is an M12 product, you've got plenty of options for power without adding much to the weight. It gives you a 4-mode drive control, but this time around, instead of pressing a button on top, you just simply put the impact in neutral and double press the trigger. It'll continue going through the modes as you double press the trigger, and when you're ready to start, just go ahead and put it in forward or reverse. It also has an auto shutoff mode that applies no more than 15 foot-pounds of torque for hand-tight applications that prevent over-tightening when you're using it in forward mode. In reverse, that functions as a bolt removal mode, which will slow down the RPM once the bolt is free, and that helps prevent bolts from flying around your work area. The Stubby's pretty durable as it comes, but for many mechanics they want a little bit more protection. So Milwaukee's also launching a sold separately protective boot to keep the tool safe from corrosive materials and oils. Both the Gen 2 Stubby and the protective boot are going to be available in September. Staying in the automotive sector, Milwaukee's looking to replace another pneumatic tool in the shop with their new M12 Fuel 6-inch random orbital sanders. Designed for the professional body and paint technicians, both the 3/32" and 3/16" models have a speed range between 3,200 and 12,000 RPM, and it's handled by a variable speed trigger that gives you full control over your sanding. Milwaukee tells us that the 3/32" sander is going to sand clear coats on up to 5 doors with one M12 battery, delivering a paint-ready finish without the hassle of pneumatics. The 3/16" model offers similar runtime, sanding the body filler on up to 3 doors per M12 battery. Now, sold separately are some backing pads, although we'd expect a few to be included in the kits when these sanders launch in January of 2025. In recent years, Milwaukee has made a major push into the outdoor power equipment sector, and this year's pipeline, well, it was no different. Let's start with our headlining product, the M18 Fuel 20-inch dual battery chainsaw. This is another tool designed to pull max power from the new Forge batteries, and it delivers performance similar to a 70cc gas saw. Operating at a max of 7,400 RPM, the saw features 2 power modes, peak power mode and the standard mode. In peak power mode, it produces power levels of up to 5.8 horsepower and 9.5 newton meters of torque. These figures are going to allow you to make demanding cuts through tough material without bogging down. In standard mode, the chainsaw reaches up to 4.4 horsepower, which lets you prioritize runtime and keep the temperature down while still maintaining and maximizing performance. Now, that 20-inch bar length is going to provide enough reach and cutting power to efficiently fell medium to large-sized trees, and that makes it suitable for minor forestry work and for clearing larger areas. For the best balance of power while maintaining the lightest weight, Milwaukee recommends 2 8-amp-hour Forge packs, and you can expect 60 cuts on a single charge through hardwoods up to 10 inches in diameter. We can't wait to get this one in the shop and test it out in the field. You can expect it to hit shelves in August. That takes care of your tree felling needs, but when it comes to shrubs and lighter duty limbing, the new M18 Fuel dedicated hedge trimmer steps in. The new hedgers come in 24 and 30-inch configurations. The rotating handle and double-sided blades give you full control to comfortably cut up to 1.25-inch branches from almost any angle. The battery is rear-mounted with a top handle that makes for a balanced ergonomic feel, and that's going to keep you from feeling fatigued if you're trimming hedges for long periods of time. This is going to be a must-have on the truck for you landscape maintenance professionals running Milwaukee systems, and both the 24-inch and the 30-inch models will be available in November. Last year, Milwaukee showed off what quickly became our top cordless string trimmer, their dual battery 17-inch model. At this year's event, they debuted a slightly smaller, younger brother to that trimmer with the M18 Fuel 16-inch string trimmer. Milwaukee claims performance of up to a 31cc gas trimmer, and it has internals that reach full throttle in under 1 second. The emphasis on this trimmer is the lighter weight and the better balance, making it ideal for landscape pros that are just maintaining or don't have a landscape job that's quite as demanding. That trimmer will be available in November. For those of you looking for the most versatility when it comes to outdoor power equipment, Milwaukee's got you taken care of with their 2nd generation Quick Lock technology. So this year they've launched that new power head on their Quick Lock system, and it's capable of putting out 31cc of gas power. The new Powerhead offers better performance on existing attachments, and it opens up a whole new set of possibilities for demanding applications. And 2 new solutions were showcased this year at the Pipeline event. We got to use both the Quick Lock string trimmer and the Quick Lock pole saw. Both tools provided almost identical performance to the dedicated tools for those applications that Milwaukee makes, and when we were done with one, we just detached the head and moved on to the next job. Milwaukee has shown unmatched dedication to the Quick Lock system over the past several years, and they've added countless attachments with even more on the way. It's one of the most promising Powerhead systems that we've seen and something you can really confidently invest in. As impressive as all that is, the Pack-Out Rack gives you more options when it comes to how, and more importantly, where you store your Pack-Out components. This modular storage system brings customizable drawer layouts, allowing you to access and organize your tools without the need to unstack them. The Pack-Out Rack can be installed in Ford Transits, Ram ProMasters, Mercedes Sprinters, box trucks, shipping containers, and shop walls. And this means every Pack-Out charger, toolbox, drawer, and accessory can now be mounted in a truck or a van, allowing you near infinite customization for your work vehicle. This system is perfect for maximizing storage space and maintaining organization across various work environments. Unfortunately, you'll have to wait until April in 2025 to start building out your Pack-Out Rack. But the good news is that gives you time to plan your ultimate layout. In the more immediate future, Milwaukee is launching a Pack-Out compatible structured backpack made from tear-resistant layered ballistic material, and it has an internal reinforced structure. This backpack features an impact-resistant molded base, 42 pockets, and integrates seamlessly with your other Pack-Out systems. The Pack-Out structured backpack is available right now. The new tilt bin organizer holds 10 removable quick-access bins that let you store a variety of materials, parts, and small tools. It's got locking security bars to keep those bins secure during transport, and it can be securely hung or stacked on any other Pack-Out components. This will make the perfect Christmas gift, as it's going to be available this December. Now, we're going to round out our 2024 pipeline coverage with some of the coolest hand tools and job site lifestyle products that we saw this year, starting with the new generation of Milwaukee tape measures. We saw 3 new variations of the new layout tools in the form of the stud, the wide blade, and the magnetic tape measures. The stud's Milwaukee's most durable tape to date, and it remains that way, but they even had a torture test ready to show off on these new models. The fully reinforced impact-resistant body and double-sided anti-tear coating on the first 6 inches of the blade leads to an overall longer life when you're using it in harsh conditions. Now, that stud tape measure features a high-visibility blade, so you can see it in job site environments, especially if you drop it in a ditch or it falls off your ladder. The tape delivers 17 feet of reach and 14 feet of standout, letting you take long measurements on your own and reach further on the job site. Now, on their wide blade tape, Milwaukee claims it has the longest reach and the straightest standout in the industry. Again, another claim that they are prepared to back up with a set of pretty cool visual demonstrations. And their magnetic tapes are, well, they're magnetic. They don't offer quite the durability of the stud or the standout of the wide blade, but if you're working around metal and you need reliable measurements, this tape is a solid choice. Milwaukee also offers magnetic options for several of their other models. I like to stay cool on the job site. Milwaukee's launching 2 new fans on their M18 system, one with a 7-inch blade that's compatible with Pack-Out and a full-size 18-inch fan. The Pack-Out fan blows air at up to 20.5 miles per hour and at 850 CFM, and that makes it ideal for personal cooling on the job site. You can get over 3 hours of runtime in high or 6.5 hours on 75% speed. The fan's also AC compatible, so with an extension cord, you can just plug it in for unlimited runtime. The variable speed dial and the 300-degree adjustable head let you point the air anywhere you want it. It also comes with IP-rated dust and water protection, so you can take this fan anywhere at any time. You can grab the Pack-Out fan in August of 2024. The full-size 18-inch fan can cool down your entire shop or job site just about, circulating air at over 50 feet away and at up to 13.5 miles per hour. It's got a reinforced metal base, making it durable but surprisingly lightweight. It's got 360 degrees of head rotation, and you can expect around 5 hours of use on high with a 12-amp-hour battery. This fan's going to be available for purchase in February of 2024. Another lifestyle product that caught our eye was the new M18 and M12 job site speakers, which deliver impressive sound capabilities while still being equipped to handle the job site. The M18 Bluetooth speaker features the latest Bluetooth 5.3, and that gives you a staggering range of 200 feet, which means you can stay connected from almost anywhere on the job site. Milwaukee also added a new audio link feature, similar to what we've seen in some existing job site radios and speakers, and it lets you connect a chain of audio devices and extend your audio footprint for a larger sound experience around the job. You've got a built-in equalizer that lets you tune your bass, mids, and treble to your liking, and a USB-C port for charging personal devices. That speaker is going to be available in August of 2024. The M12 speaker is a handy pack-out compatible system, and it packs a lot of punch in a small form factor. It features a 3.5-inch woofer and multiple onboard controls. It's also audio-link compatible, so you can connect it to your M18 job site speaker to extend your range, or you can chain multiple of these together depending on your preference. You'll have to wait a little longer for the M12 speaker, as it's not going to be available until January of 2025. The next and the final line of products that we saw is extremely cool, or warm, depending on how you look at it, and that's the all-new M12 heated gear. Milwaukee's launching all new jackets and vests with improved heating technology that's supposed to keep you warmer for longer. Whether facing freezing outdoor temperatures or spaces with minimal heat indoors, Milwaukee's new workwear utilizes front and rear heating pads that give you optimal heating throughout the entire garment. The coolest part about this entire launch is the new heated gear power source. Not only does it improve the form factor, creating an M12 system that lays flat instead of being in a traditional M12 battery style, but it takes up less space in your pocket while giving you app control. We got to look at the beta version of the app, and it shows you how much charge is remaining on your vest or your jacket, as well as giving you full control over the temperatures. Also can tell you how to distribute the energy across the heating zones. The app even has this extremely unique feature where you tell it how much runtime you need, and it's going to automatically adjust the temperature and settings that's going to ensure that you get at least some heat to last that duration. You got 3 hours left on the job, tell the app you got 3 hours, and it'll dial in peak performance for you to stay warm for that full time.
One of the most anticipated products at Pipeline 2023 featured an update to the Milwaukee battery system. The newest generation is the Milwaukee Forge batteries. Should you run out and order one of these M18 or MX Fuel Forge batteries today? Let's take a closer look and see if they're right for the way you work. With DeWalt PowerStack and FlexStack Lithium both enjoying success with their pouch cell power tool batteries, there have been a lot of questions wondering if Milwaukee was going to develop their own version. The short answer is yes. However, Milwaukee is not only using pouch cells for all their newest batteries. Some include the first tabless cylindrical cell batteries used in power tools. So we have the best of both worlds, the very first tabless cylindrical cell batteries and the first Milwaukee pouch cell battery. And before we dive into the specifics of these Forge batteries, let's spend a little time talking about the cell technology that's behind these advanced high-performance packs. Now, it's the Milwaukee M18 Forge battery that has the pouch cells. This cell design can create a higher power battery in a more compact form factor. There's significantly lower electrical resistance in the connection, resulting in higher potential current flow and more power output for the tool. Even when you don't need as much power, the energy transfer is more efficient. On the job site, you get faster application speeds with existing M18 products. Additionally, pouch cell packs run cooler. You can push them harder for longer without the tool stopping to protect itself from high temperatures. You can also charge them incredibly fast compared to traditional cells, another benefit of lower electrical resistance and heat buildup. MX Fuel Red Lithium Forge batteries are the first batteries in the industry to leverage tabless cylindrical cell technology. Now, Ryobi Edge batteries that were announced a couple of weeks ago also have that same tabless technology inside. With these, the current has a much shorter distance to travel and gives you a much larger surface area. From a cell standpoint, that means it has significantly lower electrical resistance, and similar to the advantages of pouch cells, it can put out higher power and run cooler. Now let's take a closer look at these specific Milwaukee Forge batteries. With the initial launch, there's just one Milwaukee M18 Forge battery on the roll call, and it's the Pouch Cell XC 6.0. From a power delivery standpoint, it's capable of providing the same watts as the 12 amp hour high output battery. That's a big deal when it comes to workload. Each cell in the Forge pack has to deliver twice the current compared to the cells in that larger 12 amp hour pack, while preventing overheating and maintaining a long service life. As for charging, the battery is capable of an 80% supercharge of 5 amp hours of capacity in just 15 minutes. From there, it slows down to top itself off. A full charge cycle from 0% to full takes only 25 minutes. Even though there's more current running through it, Milwaukee promises the M18 Forge battery has the longest life, the most recharges, and the best performance compared to the standard and high output red lithium packs. As a bonus, these packs are also designed to have better protection against common oils, grease, and solvents. And finally, as we expect, RedLink Intelligence monitors against overload, and the battery is fully compatible with all M18 and M18 Fuel products. When it comes to pricing, that 6 amp hour Forge battery is going to run $199. But keep your eyes open, sometime in the second half of 2024, we're also expecting a 12 amp hour Forge battery for the M18 system, and that price hasn't been announced yet. Now, for those of you replacing your gas equipment with Milwaukee's MX Fuel products, you have 2 Forge batteries to look forward to. An 8 amp hour MX Fuel Forge battery offers 33% more runtime than the current 6 amp hour pack. Then there's also a 12 amp hour MX Fuel Forge battery for when you need the highest capacity. Like the M18 version, these packs offer higher performance, longer service life, and faster charging than their standard counterparts. The 8 amp hour battery gets back to a full charge in just 45 minutes, and the 12 amp hour pack takes only 65 minutes. Those are lightning fast charge times compared to what we're used to seeing. As far as pricing goes, the 8 amp hour battery is going to run $849 and the 12 amp hour version is going to run $1,149. There are also some chargers to talk about that are coming with this launch as well. The Milwaukee M18 dual base simultaneous supercharger charges more than 2 times faster than the previous generation supercharger. This is the fastest charger Milwaukee has ever made. They actually had to add controls to dial back the wattage and avoid tripping breakers. It includes a technology called Charge Adapt. Charge Adapt asymmetrically charges 2 batteries at one time. In other words, both batteries always receive some level of charge. However, Milwaukee varies those levels per battery in order to quick charge the most optimized pack. Simultaneous charging always occurs in this system if 2 batteries are installed, and that shares the available power between them. In order to get that 80% charge in 15 minutes, you need to install just 1 Forge battery on the charger. Another technology Milwaukee developed is called Cool Cycle. When your tools perform demanding applications back to back, batteries inherently heat up. To speed up charging, Milwaukee developed this Cool Cycle technology, which employs high-speed air cooling on both their MX Fuel and M18 Forge batteries, as well as the newest superchargers. It's not just a cooling fan on the charger. The batteries and charger are both active participants. Now, if you're looking for the M18 dual port simultaneous supercharger, it's $249. And keep in mind that that can charge any M18 battery, not just the Forge batteries. The MX Fuel supercharger is going to run $549. We've already begun testing with some of these Forge packs, so be on the lookout for the results in our head-to-head videos and power tool buying guides in the near future.
With the Milwaukee M18 telescoping pole pruning shears, if you've ever used a pole saw, you can imagine that having something very similar but with a set of pruning shears that's running off of an M18 battery might be a convenient tool for you. Milwaukee's pruning shears model 3008 give you a 1 3/4 inch cut capacity, and it extends out to 10 feet. This is going to give you better access to those higher branches without needing a ladder, which is going to make it safer for you to trim those trees. I've got a lot of crepe myrtles out front, and believe me, this is going to come in handy. You can expect to get around 2,000 cuts per charge, according to Milwaukee, when using an M18 high output 6 amp hour battery. Now, price on this tool is going to be around $699, but that's going to include a full kit with a battery and charger. The next product that caught my eye was Milwaukee's new M18 Fuel Blower, and this is the model 3017. It's a quiet tool. Now, how quiet? Well, we were very impressed with Ryobi's Whisper series blowers, but this one actually is even quieter at 54 dBA. That's about 40% quieter than a lot of the competitors that we've tested. It's also very lightweight, as I mentioned. You can put an M18 battery in here and get up to 500 CFM or 120 miles per hour. We typically prefer measuring these tools with Newton blowing force to give you an idea of how that combines into force coming out the end. And this one's going to give you about 12.2 Newtons, which is making it still stronger than most gas-powered handheld blowers that you're going to find out there. So it's a good tool. Price on this is going to be $179 for the bare tool. Add it to your existing M18 kit and you'll be good to go. If you want something with a little more power, Milwaukee also released the M18 Fuel dual battery backpack blower. You can get this right now. It's $1,499 as a kit, and that kit is going to actually include 4 HD 12.0 batteries and a pair of dual chargers. And you can expect to get around 650 CFM of volume out of the nozzle on this, along with 155 miles per hour on air speed. Now keep in mind, this backpack blower actually stores all 4 batteries on the backpack. And you can see the remaining charge on the throttle system as you're using the tool. When the first set of batteries runs out, it'll automatically switch over to the other batteries and keep going. For those of you doing any kind of overhead drilling, the Milwaukee 3311 M18 Fuel overhead rotary hammer is specifically designed for that. It's going to reduce a lot of dust because it features an onboard dust extractor. The 2-in-1 design is lighter than previous M18 models, and the improved ergonomics makes it more comfortable than ever. This is an SDS Plus model, so it's going to use any of those SDS Plus bits that you need. It's going to let you drill up to 5/8 inch holes in concrete comfortably. This product hits the shelves in May of 2024. As we see more and more pack-out compatible tools and accessories hit the market, we weren't terribly surprised to find that they released an M18 fuel pack-out 9-gallon dust extractor. I mean, if you're going to make a battery-powered dust extractor, why not have the top of it be pack-out compatible so that you can store accessories and other tools and bring them right along with you? This dual battery dust extractor offers corded performance with cordless convenience. And thanks to the presence of dual automatic filter cleaning, it's also able to maintain suction and reduce downtime. It's projected to hit the shelves in Q4 of 2024. It's been a while since we've seen an update to the Milwaukee M18 Fuel 6.5-inch circular saw, but model 2833 updates the very capable 2730 that we've used quite a bit in the shop. It has positive bevel detents at 22.5 and 45 degrees, but on this saw, Milwaukee also added depth detents at 1/2 inch, 3/4, and 1.5 inches. And that's going to make it much quicker to cut through various lumber and sheet goods with and without the use of sacrificial boards. The speed on the saw tops out around 6,000 RPM, and you've got a max cutting depth of around 2.25 inches. This one's going to hit the shelves in Q2 of 2024, and Milwaukee will release pricing at a later date. Maneuvering a full-size plate compactor in tight spaces, that can be a little tricky sometimes, even for pros. So a more compact tool like the Milwaukee MX Fuel 70 kilogram rammer is going to come in handy. This is a fully battery-powered rammer. It features a centralized control panel for making easy adjustments on the fly, and it lets you maintain greater control and stability while you use it. So if you pair this with an MX Fuel forged HD 12 amp hour battery, you can expect up to 25 minutes of continuous runtime or roughly a 1/4 mile of compaction. And this is another tool that's going to come out in Q2 of 2024, so we don't yet have pricing information on this, but Milwaukee MX Fuel has been consistently releasing tools that work a lot better in enclosed spaces and indoors when you just don't have to deal with gas or diesel fumes, and we really like that. If you're a professional landscaper, you might be excited to know that Milwaukee has expanded their M18 Quick Lock attachment system. The first product they announced was a cultivator. That's going to give you 4 9-inch blades to help you get that work done more quickly. The price on that attachment is $249. The last 2 attachments are a hedge trimmer, and that's a 20-inch knife on that with 3/4 inch cut capacity that operates at 3,500 strokes per minute. And that's going to give you more reach and more extension when trimming hedges from a standing position, whether they're vertical hedges or you're trying to reach up and over top bushes. The hedge trimmer will run you $169. And finally, a blower gives you 500 CFM of volume and 120 miles per hour speed with 12 Newton forces. At just 59 dBA, this is a nice quiet blowing attachment that you can put on that quick lock system and a great tool to add to your collection. The pricing on that is $159. At the last Milwaukee Pipeline event, I got my hands on their M18 Fuel dual battery string trimmer, and we've just got that in-house to start testing. This is by far one of the most powerful string trimmers I've ever used. I love the 17-inch cutting swath that it gives you with a gas equivalent of 2.4 horsepower. In either case, we've used this trimmer. It supports up to 0.105-inch line, and it performs very similarly to a brush cutter in many respects. It's very, very powerful, but you still get excellent runtime as well. The price of this bare tool is $399, or you can get the kit for $699 with 2 8 amp hour high output batteries and a dual port rapid charger.